Welcome to Hollywood. In my world, there are no secrets.
Good people, we are going for one last ride. We're going through for one last ride on fucking OG Sombra. God, I'm playing a playstyle everyone is a little too scared to do. To get teabagged by a character, apparently. Like, run in there without a trash can open. Honestly, I think that's what fucking losers.
Trying to keep
I'll
me
be
out?
100% honest, I think that's just for losers.
Aguas! Enemy here!
Like, the way I would say Sombra's gonna play after the new update, it's, well, she's gonna feel a lot weirder for me specifically. Maybe for like the other 28 people playing my style. But for most people it's gonna feel very differently. Like, seeing the circles 100% is gonna change how OP Sombra is in most people's hands. But it's probably gonna make her not more powerful for most people, but gonna be in huge numbers of people who already know how the race is. Once again, that's just having experience. And also, but I feel like it's also going to be something pretty big after this update to Sombra, is that her translocate is going to feel a lot less precise.
The payload has reached.
She's now going to be more of a fucking frisbee where you do not know where it's actually going, like a boomerang. And base and stuff like how it feels right now. For me it feels like a basically input number. Like, I feel like I have some control over where I go with my translator right now. But I don't think it's gonna remain like that after the update. So you're not gonna have to freedom to like default to like CP to your translocator if it's still mid-air. Like, it's gonna need to land before you actually are able to teleport to it. Also, it should like kind of throwing it around. What I think I should have done is kind of like how they did in OG Overwatch. But I've not played, by the way. I'm new to. I'm like joining as the release of Overwatch 2 against 3. But I actually do think that's the way how Overwatch 1 is. It's just simply better for how it feels. Because what it's gonna do is it's gonna force you to play a lot less of just kind of sitting on a health deck. It's gonna need to actually time your engage properly. But what I think Summer should have is she should be punished the longer she stays in Invis, and the longer she has her translocator down. Like, what if she had a sort of battery where she had to time how much she was invisible and how much she was truthfully hacking and stuff like that. And maybe only be able to EMP at like, what, 50% battery, stuff like that. Recharge them from her kills. Stuff like that, where she would have to be more... She would be less campy, where she'd be more like the actual assassin she was supposed to be. And her kid right now is all about basically safety. About being safe while running around, being safe, observing a fight, stuff like that. Think like, you're taking away all your enemy potential, but not really giving yourself a lot. I think that's gonna be the thing that changes Sombra. Like that 100%. Well, at least I think it's gonna be what's gonna redefine Sombra. Like, her playstyle is gonna be completely differently. I would have gone about it completely differently. I might actually make a like Sombra rework in my, what is it called, one of my custom games in the workshop, to see if it is a good idea what I'm saying right now. I haven't, of course, tried any of this out. I'm just saying, if I listen to the words I'm saying, I think that's gonna be a lot better. That's all I'm saying.
Welcome to Blizzard World.
Like, I think Sombra should be even more strategical, like, bring back a longer ability lockout. Or maybe even just lock one ability, where you're able to, like, choose what ability gets disabled. Like on Kira, Kozuki gets never. Maybe even you say it activates all their cooldowns.
No vaya a ser que lo necesite.
Maybe you can even say it adds 3 seconds to every cooldown. So that way it's gonna feel a lot more like tactical. Or maybe adds 20, or maybe like prevent the cooldown generation, or prevent ult charge generation. Prevent reloads for Christ's sake. Slow down reloads. Disable passives. Like if you think about it, if Wuxia wouldn't be able to wall right for the duration attack, that would be devastating. And then just add like 2 to 3 times more hack time. That would make EMP so much more scary. And hack even so much more scary. What if hack just straight up disabled communication menu or disabled a piece of your HUD?
Violence is such a waste of resources, but they've left us
Like
no
what if a
choice.
skull icon just appears over your health bar, you just have to kind of figure it out.
Hello.
That would be plenty of stuff to
Done, no
even make
mistakes.
sure someone be
No
in
mercy.
trouble.
Don't underestimate the youth.
Imagination.
I'll say it, that is 100% like the way how I would go about fixing Sombra. But of course, this approach can also work. I'm not saying this is 100% bound to fail.
I'm with you.
So yeah, about Roadhog, what's also getting reworked. I would say we would need to use a more, what is it called? A more stay on target type of style. Like maybe just like how Roadhog works right. Like kind of like how Sombra's gonna work. For invis after their attacks, that they can briefly like unlock after leaving combat. Even hack, add a income, or hack, even add a what is it called? Specific mechanic which says in or out of combat. Like based on what abilities you're using, it decides whether you're in or out of context. And if you are in and out, it should decide what abilities you can and cannot use. Let's think about it. Moira's Fate or Moira's Orb should only be allowed to be used mid-combat.
Back online.
Maybe like for, what is it called? Maybe like, are you able to do the Sigma Shield? Maybe even you can say about Alari's, like Alari's Pylon placement. Like if you sort of put on the plus because you can like decide to take a break from the combat and kind of just go ahead and place another pylon quicker. Stuff like that I feel like would make
good Dan.
Are they complaining like a tank thing? Oh, I'm just gonna ignore that. I feel like also Junkrat is really unhealthy for the game right about now. With them being a character that can one-shot. What I think they should do to him is maybe also give his Junkrat something of a longer recovery mechanic. Maybe even his primary.
I can
His
do
primary
better than
grenade.
that.
Flashpoint.
Like what if his primary grenades just decide like, hey, you can only like what if his primary grenade locks out his Jugmine for like half a second? It's not a lot, but it's plenty to like make sure you can no longer get one shot by him. For Christ's sake, even change the knockback. Because right now everything about Junkrat feels kind of like Sombra. How you feel like if you like get into contact with him, that's enough to say like, oh, you're out of the game. Like if you notice there's a Junkrat, most of the time you know, oh, I'm about to just get absolutely blasted.
A taste of poison.
Are there any other health that are like very unhealthy to the game? What's like maybe Doomfist? Controversial thing. I think Doomfist really is unhealthy for the game. How I would fix him is like give him more overshield generated, give him an extra bullet to his primary fire, But in return for all of that, I think he should also lose his capability for like power blocking. And power block feels weird. I feel like Doom being kind of a DPS would feel really good for like the ultimate pick if you want to go all DPS style on someone. I'm just playing absolutely terrible right now. I'm not even paying attention to my gameplay.
Restoring health systems.
Yeah. Here's what I mean. I just lost all control of that fight. If I didn't get saved there, I would have been dead. And when you get trapped, like, I understand the point is to, like, prevent someone from doing stuff, but on the other side, that's not really a good idea. What I would say is the trap, you should be able to, like, mash to get out of it, maybe. So it feels more like, oh, I can quickly do something. Versus the rest of it, oh, you're fucked now.
Pain is inevitable.
It's basically the same as saying that Willowmaker should get a huge rank in a one shot. What truthfully I think Willowmaker actually needs that nerf least time and time back ago. Then the other side, not too much different. What I think they should have done to Willow is that like where you shoot him, you deal more damage instead of doing headshot and doing more damage. Like maybe even add a laser that you can see like a little red dot whenever she's aiming at you. Basically adding more counterplay. Although I should admit that was like back in the time when I used to pay even less attention to where I was in my position and that was we are shooting right now. Even though this is arguably still pretty terrible. I should do something. But yeah.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Also, Brigitte, like I've heard people say she's OP.
Taking flight.
I just want to say I 100% disagree with that for the record. I think Brig should have less of a range where she holds and more of an effectivity when and more like effective heals when she's using it. Maybe even say give her a better ult. Because as Brig you just kind of feel way too passive. This is how I feel. I feel like I'm just kind of sitting there. Swinging around in an enemy team. It isn't really something I get excited for. But I would say like maybe put a put a less cooldown on her abilities if you actually hit someone with it. So better players will get more rewarded for playing her.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Genji.
I tried to fly out of there.
Thank you. Back
Kira's just controlling the team right about now.
Group up with me. On my way. Attack the objective. Advancing upward.
Next,
Just a second too long.
I have a lot to think about. Gaining altitude.
Let's think, are there any other really unhealthy characters I can talk about? Well, I think Reinhardt. First, like this is gonna be a real debate one too. But I think Reinhardt isn't engaging enough. Like I'm thinking maybe add some kind of special mechanics to him. I'm talking too much about special mechanics. Honestly, I feel like that should be the way the game works. Heck, even specific passives. Like what about you're able to destroy the Crusader armor? Like you spawn with a helmet,
Analyzing for
And the
possible
way you get it like
improvements.
fixed is by getting heals basically. But if your team is actually focused on one area, let's say just all folks that are all focused the main chest plate. That would
Taking flight.
increase your damage if you break the armor, maybe. Having a really engaging hero like that. Or maybe even have Orisa be able to get like supercharge herself. Maybe like to each character, maybe to like deal damage. Or each damage to then to get the energy from that to use more abilities constantly. Something like that can also be even said about Iliari's ultimate.
Team kill.
Like, what about this? To make an Alari a lot more scary.
Let's adapt.
What about this idea? Whenever an Alari uses their healing pylon, they can either throw the healing pylon, or just to have an alternative option, kind of like the Moira ball, or you also have an option to make it a sun beacon. Like we're talking Sombra Onion Fish before their new season. We're talking that type of zone where enemies can automatically sunstruck if they enter it. That will be an absolutely devastating play if it's used against it, but also really risky.
We're outnumbered. For all the days.
And honestly, I think playing against heroes should be overall really devastating to play worse against them. Heck, maybe even for Sigma, where if he eats something, he no longer generates over health, but he just fucking triggers a invincibility thingy. He just triggers invincibility. Right? It's all just my opinion. I think we're reaching about the end of what we can record now. So, gotta move. Fade out.